Hey rockers, welcome back to the channel on this Sunday night going into Monday morning here in Southern Oregon. Thanks to all of you who tuned into my Church of Rock radio show earlier tonight when we hosted the 26th anniversary of the show. 26 years doing the same 2-hour radio show since Halloween of 1999. It's been a big part of my life, a big milestone. It's been a long journey, and it's been a big part of a lot of your lives. If I've been hosting it, someone's been listening, and that's you. Thank you so much for being a part of my radio show. A lot of crazy things happened every year in radio land around Halloween. For instance, tonight, I went in to do the radio show. Me and Sister Tracy pull up, and here comes another car pulling in the parking lot. It was the one and only Oddly Toddly, a.k.a. War Pig. One of our biggest friends, biggest fans, and supporters at the radio station. He never misses the Church of Rock, and Oddly Toddly does a lot of cool things for us. You can find another story about him if you look up our story about seeing Deep Purple on the channel. We actually met him while Sister Tracy was on mushrooms, and so was he, and she was able to point him out in the crowd and said, "That guy's on mushrooms." I go, "How do you know?" Well, 20 minutes later, we were talking to the guy, and he announced that he was on mushrooms, and Tracy's like, "So am I." We talked for about 10 more minutes, and out of the blue, the guy that we just met says, "Church of Rock." I'm like, we're like an hour and a half north of my area. How in the hell do you know me in the Church of Rock? He's like, "Your voice, man." I go, "Wow, weird." So anyway, that same guy, Oddly Toddly, tonight we get to the station, we pull up, Todd's car pulls in, he jumps out with a big bag full of goodies, like, well, lots of snacks and drinks and treats, including dog treats from my dog Jet, and this. A black cat. Look at this thing, man. I swear to you, ever since he gave me this thing earlier tonight, a lot of things have gone wrong, and I really do feel like a black cat has crossed my path. And ever since I got this damn thing, I feel like I've been cursed. Curses, you dirty black cat. So I'm going to keep him anyway because, well, I'm not that superstitious. Or am I? So listen, man, every year in radio, there's always these Halloween hijinks. Let's say we all like a good prank. We all love a good trick or treat. We all love scary stuff. We all love candy. But during the radio show, back in the day, I was taught by my general manager, Wayne R. Miller. He said, radio, if used properly, can be a theater of the mind. And it took me a while to figure out what he meant. Some guys just get on the radio and play a song and talk. They hit a button, they talk, they hit a button. Not me, man. We've always implemented all kinds of weird stuff in between songs, different intros. And during the old days, we would have like a man on the street, and I had a different co-host and co-producer for a while back in the year 2000. His name was Chaplain Chip Vee. And Chip Vee was often the recipient of a lot of, well, not cruel, but semi-cruel, but all in good-natured fun, pranks on Halloween. I want to tell you a little story about what happened to Chaplain Chip Vee on this particular night. We were working for Real Rock Radio, Rock 106 in WWCT, Peoria, Illinois, the year 2000. The station had just been taken over by new management. They had rehired me from the previous job at Rock 106, which was a different Rock 106. Different corporation bought it, and we had less freedom. But on this particular evening, I had a lot of freedom still before they yanked the freedoms away because of stuff like this. Well, what happened was we told our listeners, "Hey, man, it's the big Halloween show this weekend. Stop by the radio station and just pull up. Chaplain Chip Vee is going to be downstairs with the big old pumpkin full of candy, and you could just pull up and get some candy and say rock and roll." We even had a big stack of CDs because back then they would give us all these CDs that were like promo copies. So you could get like free copies of the newest rock albums, at the time. I don't, gods know what I was giving away, but a lot of stuff, probably like System of a Down, Godsmack, the hard rock stuff we were playing on the radio at the time. And so people were excited because that was kind of like an era where we had a lot of phone calls coming in. It was before the internet had taken over completely. And on any given night, we'd have 3 or 4 phone lines ringing at a time. If I did a contest, you could count on those phone lights ringing like crazy. Today, it's a little harder on radio. Everyone's got the internet. People are more jaded. We don't give away CDs anymore because most people watch stuff and listen digitally. So back to the story. we're sitting there on the air. The big night has come. We've been advertising that we're going to give away candy at the station and free music. So I got on the air with Chaplain Chip and I said, "You about ready?" He's like, "I sure am, Reverend Moody." That's my radio name, Reverend Derek Moody. So I said, "Okay, we're going to send Chaplain Chip Vee was sent downstairs to greet the public as I stayed on the air playing music. I did give him a phone. That way he could call in while he was downstairs giving out candy to tell me how it was going, who's showing up, how many people, anybody we know. It was pretty cool, man. You could hear people pulling up in the parking lot blasting music. And as Chaplain Chip walked down the stairs, which was like a three-floor building, he's walking down the stairs. I jump on the radio because you can't hear me at this point, right? And I tell people, "Hey man, we really are giving away candy and music, but the joke is going to be on Chaplain Chip Vee. We're going to prank him, you guys. So when you pull up for candy, make sure you bring eggs." Yep, I told the listeners, bring eggs. When you pull up, get close enough to where you can get candy, and then I want you to egg my co-host, Chaplain Chip Vee. And boy, oh boy, did it go exactly as planned. It was cruel. It was mean. It was obnoxious. And it was a funny-ass radio prank. So what transpired was pretty crazy. Chaplain Chip calls me. He's like, "Yeah, I'm down here, man. A couple people pulled up." And to my dismay, nobody was egging the guy. I'm like, "Oh, man, it's going to backfire. And all we're going to do is give away a bunch of Reese's peanut butter cups that I could have surely eaten myself. Giving away stacks of music for nothing." But no. About the third person that pulled up, all of a sudden, they roll down the window and they just start pelting this dude with eggs. And then another car pulls up and people get out and they start throwing eggs and so on. Next thing I know, Chaplain's on the phone and he's like, "Hey," and you could hear eggs being thrown at him. He said, "Man, dude, I am literally covered in eggs." People are like, and he's like, "Oh, hey." And all of a sudden, people kept pulling up because the power of radio is immense. That was like a 50,000 watt station. A lot of people tuned in to the church and to Rock 106. This went on for a while until he finally figured out, "You prick." He realized right away, "Man, this isn't funny." He said, "This hurts." And people are, pulling up, throwing eggs at him. Some people got a little bit too mean though and was really whipping him hard at him. I didn't want him to get hurt. I just wanted a little egg on his face, man. For the sake of laughter and fun and trick or treat, buddy. Not everything's going to be a treat in life, right? So Chaplain goes along with it for a little while until he calls me a prick on the radio. And then I thought, uh-oh, I might be close to losing not only a friend, but a good co-host and co-producer, right? So he lets it go on for a little while. And when I started physically hearing eggs cracking on his head, I forgot to tell you, the guy was very big. And no offense to him at all. He's a beautiful friend of mine that I love dearly even to this day. And he'd admit it, he was big. And he had a shaved head, bald. And it was easy to nail him. And people were going for the head, man. I didn't want him to get hurt. But he was walking around looking like Humpty Dumpty. Eggs are pouring down his face. They're all over his clothes. I'm like, holy crap. Time to pull the plug. So I get on the air and I tell the listeners, "Hey, good job, rockers. But you got to stop pelting eggs with the guy. Stop throwing them at him. No more." And they continued to throw eggs. So he had to give up the entire mission, come upstairs, and lo and behold, Humpty Dumpty had come to life. And man, and he was pissed off. But he also kind of thought it was funny. But he was always like, "How come I'm always the guy that gets picked on?" I'm like, I guess because I'm the guy hosting the show and I don't have time to be egged. I don't know, man. But he looked like he was sunny side up. Or when he was mad, he looked like he was scrambled. Okay, he was over easy. But he wasn't, because it was not over easy. People kept calling, going, "Where's the guy giving out candy?" And I had to tell him, "Look, if you promise not to egg him anymore, we'll send him back down to give out candy." I even ended up going downstairs for a while and giving out candy myself. So that's really the story. But it was quite funny if you were actually a radio listener. But it was not funny if you were the program director or general manager, because that was one of those nights where the hotline lit up. And when that red button lit up, it was always one thing. The boss pissed off. They never called the hotline unless they really wanted to ream you. And he called me up and he said, "Man, you're pushing things again. You can watch this channel about the Halloween prank gone wrong at the cemetery. That one involves cops, ghosts and goblins, all kinds of illegal activities, and police actually getting on the phone telling me to stop it and get everybody out of the cemetery while I was on the air live. So people heard me talking to the cops. It's a good story. Look it up on this channel under the video section. I think it's called Halloween Radio Prank Gone Wrong, Cemetery, something like that. But it's a good one, man. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. Thanks for checking out some of these stories. I know they're all over the place, but that's the beauty of this channel. It's my book. Instead of writing a book, I'm doing videos. And this chapter is one little chapter of my book. So watching this video, you can turn the page to the next chapter now and find out the next story in my kind of weird life, man. Bloody F Mess signing off at Bloody F Mess Official. Happy pre-Halloween. I'm going to try to come back again as many days this week as I can to tell you other stories. I have stories about Ouija boards. I have stories about grave robbing. Not me grave robbing, but I've got stories about me owning a real skeleton, well, a skull. I've got all kinds of creepy Halloween stories to share with you guys coming up soon. Stay tuned and maybe leave a comment and tell me what was your favorite Halloween prank you've ever been a part of. Cheers, rockers. Have a great week coming up, man, and I appreciate each and every one of you from the bottom of my black little heart. Cheers, man.